Hi, friends. Welcome to another podcast. I realize that it's been a minute. I kind of just wanted to chat for a little bit here and tell you some of the things that have been on my mind. I had a goal to do a podcast every month of the year, at least one podcast. I'm starting small and working my way up here. So thank you so much to those of you who have stuck around with me and listened. I have been doing a lot of interviews lately. I love doing interviews. They feel fun and comfortable for me. I enjoy talking to people and hearing their perspectives. And I enjoy listening to interview podcasts because then I just get to kind of be a fly on the wall and listen to other people's conversations. And I really love people and conversations. So it works out well. But the idea of kind of just talking into a microphone and spouting off all of the brilliant ideas in my head has been seriously terrifying for me. I've been putting this off for a really long time, but it's the end of the month, and the interview that I was going to do yesterday kind of fell through. Don't worry, you're going to hear it later. It's going to be awesome. But here I am, recording a podcast for you. So this is my first kind of just off the cuff podcast, and I wanted to share with you guys some experiences that I've had recently. And I shared a little bit of this in my weekly email that I do. So if you want a weekly email from me, I would love to have you on my list. So let me know if you want to be on there. But I shared recently about how I've been feeling this push, or not urgency necessarily, but this pull in a different direction from what I have been doing with my coaching. And I've been super resistant to it. I felt really called to do this coaching stuff. I love it so much. It brings so much joy, and not just joy, but exhilaration, thrill to my heart to see coaching, to listen to coaching, to get to do coaching and see the changes that it has made for people and for me. So I just felt this like really strong calling almost to do coaching, to become a coach. And I've been doing it and loving it. But an opportunity opened up a few months ago that I realized felt like kind of like a gift from heaven just kind of falling in my lap. And it felt like this would be so stupid not to pursue this. And it would require me to focus more of my time and attention on the concussion side of things rather than the family relationship side of things. Both are topics that I'm passionate about and that I'm excited about, but I kind of had initially just felt that, draw to do coaching in general, and had chosen family relationships as the thing I was going for. But as I've felt this push to do concussion coaching, I've been really resistant for some reason. I think it was just I felt like I was abandoning this other broader audience and topic that I did feel really excited about. And to narrow it down felt scary and maybe a little bit less exciting in some ways. And I've done a lot of self-coaching, a lot of praying, a lot of pondering and talking to wise people, getting coached by other people. And as I've done that, I've, again, felt stronger and stronger desires and pulls to go the concussion coaching route. And so as soon as I started actually accepting that and moving in that direction, some really cool opportunities have opened up and doors have opened and things are happening. And it's super, really, really exciting. And I love it. And the more I realize, as I'm walking down this path further, the more excited I get about it. And the more I'm like, oh, actually, this is perfect. This is just it's better than I could have ever imagined and more than I could have hoped for. And things that I never thought of or would have imagined were possible are coming about. And I have all these ideas that I just get really excited about. So I feel really good about it at this point now that I've started down this path. But it's been an interesting journey and a really exciting one. And so I want to talk a little bit about concussion coaching and what that means, what it is. But I also kind of just want to share how that journey that I'm still on, but as I look back over the past few weeks and months, I see it more clearly where it's been taking me and what it's been like. That journey is in a lot of ways a journey that I think many people, including people who've had concussions, can relate to. It's this idea of resistance and then acceptance and then embracing. And I think all of those are important parts of our journeys and our experiences. But for me, feeling these nudgings towards a direction that I wasn't anticipating and wasn't particularly excited about felt really unwelcome. And I had a lot of resistance to that. And I actually got some coaching this morning on this whole topic. And the person I was talking to said, how is that journey similar to concussion clients, the journey that they're on? And I think that people who have a concussion, a lot of times there's a lot of resistance. And this goes for anybody. I think anytime we have resistance to circumstances that change in our lives or things that were unexpected, if we're not excited and on board right away, there's that resistance to it. And it's not comfortable. It's not fun. And in a lot of ways, it just kind of makes things worse for ourselves. And I've seen that happen as I've worked with people who've had concussions. One of the hardest things that I've observed is just the resistance to what is. They look at, okay, this is how I used to be. This is what I'm capable of now. And this is terrible. Like that idea that it's a terrible thing is resistance to what has happened and causes so much more, layers of hurt and pain and anxiety on top of something that's already hard. And I think that as we learn to, over time, come to accept the realities that we're facing, and then at some point, I think we can all get to a place where we actually embrace them. It opens up our minds to the idea and the understanding of the opportunities that are afforded us when we stop resisting and start accepting and embracing. And I recognize that doesn't always feel possible or doable. And I think one of the things that people come up against is, well, if I just accept things as they are, then I'm not going to fight to change them. I'll just go along as I am and be miserable. But I don't think that's true. I think when we accept things as they are and try to love what is, then we get to a point where our eyes can be open to the goodness that is available to us. If we're resisting, usually it's because we're seeing only the negative and we are refusing to open our eyes to anything positive that could come from something. And sometimes it just may feel like there's nothing positive that can come from it. That's okay if that's where we're at. But when we get to a point where we can open our eyes to that, then so many opportunities, so much more understanding can come to us. And accepting things as they are does not mean just passive going along with things. I think that it just allows us to be at a place of peace where we can make decisions about our future with a greater understanding and knowledge and from a place of peace. So if we're operating and saying, okay, this is how things are, and then we see clearly what the opportunities and the pitfalls around us are, then we can make better decisions. There'll be more informed decisions and we can work to change things if we want to. But it doesn't have to come from a place of anger and resistance and frustration. And I think we'll be even more effective that way, actually. So I know that my experience over the last few months is not the same thing as somebody dealing with a concussion. That is a totally different thing. But the whole idea of resistance, accepting, and embracing is something that I think everybody can relate to from different parts of life. And when it comes to the embracing part of the concussion side of things, I have talked to many people who have had concussions and gone through this experience. And it's really touching and beautiful to hear them talk about the person they are on the other side of it. And even though it's not what they were anticipating and expecting, they see the world differently. They have so much more compassion. They have just a different viewpoint that makes their experience in their life even more meaningful and powerful than I think they ever could have imagined it would have been. So there's hope, there's goodness, and this is just, I guess, a call for acceptance and loving what is. And I wanted to also share a little bit about what I'm doing with the concussion coaching, what that even means. I have been so excited as I've been thinking about the things that I can share with people. I know the coaching tools that I have to share with people are powerful and really, really helpful. And my experience as an occupational therapist working with concussion victims, I'm fascinated by the brain and how it works. And when it's not working the way that we're expecting it to, what might be going on. It's so interesting and so fascinating to watch how our brains operate. And so these tools that I've gathered over the years are just kind of coming together into this awesome concussion coaching program. I'm so excited about it. It's a 6-week program where I get to teach people some of the coaching tools that I've learned that help them manage their mental and emotional challenges. I am a firm believer that there's no problem that can't be made heavier with our thoughts, and there's also no problem that can't be made lighter with our thoughts. Obviously, our thoughts can't necessarily change all of our problems and take them away, but the way that we think about things really makes a huge difference and can, again, add layers of difficulty on top of something that's already hard, or it can kind of ease the burden and make things lighter when they feel heavy. So coaching tools are super powerful. And then I also get to combine some of the more practical occupational therapy tools as well that can help people with understanding and managing the physical symptoms and cognitive symptoms that they often face having had a concussion. And as I've been working with people using this so far, it's been so awesome, so rewarding, so exciting. I love hearing people's wins, and I love seeing the aha moments that come when we uncover something that they didn't realize they were thinking that colors everything in their world. So it's been really cool and so enlightening just to watch this process. I know that the things that I have to offer are really, really exciting, really valuable, and can be so, so helpful for people who are dealing with concussions. Before I worked at Cognitive FX, I had no idea how impactful a concussion could be. It can change everything. It can make people not be able to go out and socialize like they used to. Going to a grocery store can feel overwhelming because of all of the lights and the sounds and the visual stimuli. It just can be so profoundly affecting of people, and it just really can be hard. It's a hard thing to go through, and it can be a really hard thing for those who love them to watch happen. I think it can be hard because people have anxiety that something might happen again, or if somebody saw their loved one get injured, that can be a traumatic experience, and then have, again, the anxiety of a re-injury, or what if they get worse? There's so many things that happen for the caregivers and for the person who has experienced a concussion that people don't talk about. I don't think it's well known, and it's really hard because it's such an invisible injury. People don't know what people are dealing with. Like you can't see a bandage on the arm. They don't see any bruising necessarily, right? It's a head injury. And so the things that used to be fun or exciting or easy can all of a sudden feel completely overwhelming and exhausting. So people who are looking at someone else who's had a concussion and they just see this person acting totally differently or pulling away, withdrawing from the life that they used to lead, it can be very confusing, and a lot of people don't understand what's going on for them, and that can be really challenging for the individual as well. So there's so much to it, and I think, again, I don't think there's a lot of knowledge about it that's talked about out there, and yet concussions are so common. It's crazy how many times I'll talk to people and tell them, oh, I'm doing concussion coaching, and I find out that their spouse or their child or their good friend's daughter or somebody has been dealing with concussion symptoms. It's very prevalent, and it's not talked about nearly as much as I think it should be. So anyway, I just want to throw this out there. I'm doing this. I love it. I have some really powerful tools that I know can help people. And so if you have had a concussion, or you know somebody who's had a concussion and you think they might benefit from talking to a concussion coach, send them my way. Anybody who's interested can have a 30-minute consultation where I will find out from you what you're dealing with and let you know what it is that I offer, and we will see if it's a good match. So please let people know, put the word out there, and hit me up if you or someone you love is dealing with a head injury. There is help for people out there, and I definitely am one of the people who can offer that help. So I'm just really excited to be doing this. And now that I've accepted and embraced this pivot that has happened and have stopped resisting it, I am just so excited about it and seeing all of the possibility and the opportunities to really, truly help people in a really significant way. It kind of lights me on fire. I'm so excited about it. And I'm happy to share it with you guys. So thanks again for listening. I love you, and I will catch you next time. Oh, and P.S., if you want to sign up for that 30-minute consultation, go ahead and head over to www.theconcussioncoach.com, and also liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing these podcasts and videos really helps me out. So if you feel so inclined, please do it. Thanks so much. Have a great day.